Russel and Rockin and Franco and Lee.
Call Italian Village Pizza on Stil'rs game day and say, "Let's talk Stil'rs." And any size pizza is buy one, get one free. Takeout or delivery. Let's talk Stil'rs.
All right, huddle up, Stil'rs Nation. It's Tank and Mike. Let's talk Stil'rs. You know, this offense, it is not Mike, I did not see one jet sweep against the Jets and the Giants. I did not see one sidecar handoff. The Matt Canada days are over. Arthur Smith is in town. I love it. Mostly, Mike, for me at this point, I went on last year a lot about how Matt Canada did not use the monster Mount Washington out of Georgia, Darnell Washington. Guys were saying, I want to leave him on. I want to make him a tackle. He's no tight end. Now that you have an OC that knows what he's doing, you're seeing the emergence of Washington.
Well, first of all, quit living in the past. Canada's gone. You don't need to.
I know, but I'm just so happy.
Move on.
Stil'rs Nation is happy, man. Canada's gone.
Yeah, but so don't mention the name anymore.
Oh, that's
Move
it.
on.
It's done.
It's
like an ex-girlfriend who broke the windows on my car. She's gone. I don't want to think about her anymore.
Coach Tomlin's not mentioning that name in the building. Teams move on. They move on. So you need to move on as well. Focus on the positives and what's going on with this year's team.
Look, the positives are this. No doubt Darnell Washington is emerging as a threat. You now have Najee Harris and a couple of you guys, you Yunzers 2 years ago were saying Najee Harris is a bust. He ain't no good. Now you're seeing the very best out of Najee Harris. Jaylen Warren is coming along after that injury. Your wide receiving core seems to be coming together. But the big addition to your Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike, is a bona fide Super Bowl winning quarterback who knows how to utilize the play action.
Well, yeah, he's getting, a second chance at his second chance. He went from Seattle to Denver last year, which was a second chance, but he also had the rumors of having his own office in the building, a little too diva, what you would say, but now, you see him back in Pittsburgh. He's getting a second chance at that opportunity, and he's been doing nothing but great things. He's a leader in the building. He got voted the captain. He's humbled himself, and he is all in on team first and doing what's best for the team. Early in the season, he couldn't play. He was helping Justin Fields be a productive quarterback to find ways to get wins, to go to a 4-2 record. And now all of a sudden, he gets his opportunity, and you can see how the offense is taking off a little bit more. And it's not a knock against Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a young, athletic quarterback who's still going, who's still developing. But the thing is that Russell Wilson brings is he gets that anticipation. He throws the ball out a little quicker, and before the receiver makes the break. You see how fast that ball comes out, which takes pressure off of the offensive line, which wears down defensive lines. When that ball comes out so fast, it gets to the point where they're like, well, what's the point of even rushing? Because he's not going to hold on to the ball. Yeah, he gave up maybe 1 or 2 sacks last night, but for the most part, he was on fire, getting the ball out, play action, getting the ball out even off of that as well.
We're talking a little bit about living in the past with the jet sweeps and a Matt Canada offense. It's been a long time since we've seen the play action here in Pittsburgh. Harken back to Ben Roethlisberger. Mike played for the Lions and Eagles at quarterback. He's played at the highest levels. Let's go through the play action, especially when you got a beast like Najee back there. What's it do to the defense? What's the advantages of now instead of taking all these sidecar shotgun snaps?
Well, you got Najee Harris, who's a great running back, and you say, people were calling him washed up, and they weren't properly using him. You look at Arthur Moats. He came from Atlanta last year with Bijan Robinson. The year before that, he had Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a big back, very similar to Najee Harris. I would say their styles are similar. Yeah. But the thing is with Najee Harris, when you can pound the football, you can get those tight ends involved in the run game. It gets that defense to suck up, especially with a big back. They don't want to let that man loose in the secondary. Those DBs do not want to come up and have to tackle him. And when they do, they try to go low. And what happens? Najee can just hurdle over you. He can run you over or he can jump over you.
As he did in the Giants game.
As good as he is, they're forced to come up, which essentially is going to open up the vertical passing threat off of play action. You're going to get the one-on-ones with George Pickens, which is extremely difficult to cover with a guy that has a range like a soccer net. And then you've got Calvin Austin, who's got the speed. They're starting to find ways. Van Jefferson, another player who is a very smart, savvy player. I played with his father, Sean Jefferson, who's also a coach for the Jets right now. Van Jefferson, great player, has that football mindset of a coach. His dad played in the NFL with the Lions. So they have those pieces. What Arthur Smith is doing with the offense, pound the football, play action. The last 2 games they've opened up both times with a little play action pass, boot, and get the ball to Washington early. He is mainly a blocking tight end. However, how do you keep him involved, mentally engaged in the game, instead of just feeling like a tackle all game? Get him the ball early, make him feel like he's involved in the passing game. Then he will block even harder for you. So that's what they're doing. They get that run game established, then they get the ball out quick. I think they threw the ball only 20-some times this past week, 71% completion percentage. Over, it was 278 or 280 yards passing, over 160-some yards rushing. Najee was over 100. You got Jalen Warren as your little sidecar, screens, sidecar run game, draw game. And he's a little change of pace back. They're starting to find ways. And what that does is they're getting back to the old school Steeler way of football. When Cowher was there, they were run the football, play action pass, rely on your defense. Don't make any mistakes offensively. They got Ben Roethlisberger. They got a great Hall of Fame quarterback who could do some special things. Early in his career, they stuck to that game plan, but the older he's gotten, they kind of expanded and started chucking the ball around the yard a little bit. Is that really Steeler football? Probably not. They're kind of getting back to the days of the old.
What I love about the Arthur Smith offense is this. Look, we know George Pickens has all the talent in the world. I've said to Mike, there's potential there with George Pickens. We all gather in Canton, Ohio to give him his gold jacket down the road. However, if it goes bad with George Pickens, it comes off the rails. Arthur Smith now has him involved in the offense. More so, and I hate to harken back to Matt Canada, but very simply, Calvin Austin in his 3rd year really emerged in the Giants game. Van Jefferson is a pleasant surprise. So in the Arthur Smith offense, not only do you have a seasoned quarterback in Russell Wilson, a dangerous threat in George Pickens, but now, as you alluded to, you've got other aspects of the passing game that are open up. Freiermuth, Washington,
and
Austin.
that's the thing. Van Jefferson realizes he's not the George Pickens, so he's willing to get in there and do the dirty work. You got a guy like they picked up Scotty Miller. He's another shifty slot receiver that they can use when Calvin Austin's not in the game. So they've got the pieces. George Pickens is a guy that you have to get involved, though. You have to get him involved in the game early. He's one of those receivers. It was like back when I was in my Philadelphia days. I was sitting in meetings with Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb. We'd sit in Saturday morning and say, okay, this is the first 15 plays. We've got to get T.O. We got to get Terrell Owens to touch the ball 2, 3, 4 times early. Get him involved, because you get him involved early, it carries over for the rest of the game. If he doesn't touch the ball to the late in the 2nd quarter or 3rd quarter, mentally he's going to check out. And that's just the way some of these receivers are. So you have to get them involved in the game early, whether it be a quick smoke, a hitch, a quick out. Get him the ball. Tell him, you are our guy. And then you can get the other stuff going as well. But that's what they're kind of doing with Darnell Washington as well. Get him the ball early, and then let him get back into the run game. But getting that blocking. You get that tight end, the 2 tight end set, that both can run routes. That's a weapon. That's a weapon, because these guys can run past those linebackers, and it's a mismatch on linebackers.
Mike once again alludes to the linebackers. Again, you can't understate the fact that the play action pass is back in Pittsburgh. Mike, Russell Wilson actually used to tape himself in practice going through the play action motions. Locking up those linebackers. Is it a run? Is it a pass? It is so instrumental doing it the right way.
Yeah, it's not just the quarterback, though. The quarterback is a big part in selling that fake and making everything look like the run game. But a lot of it comes down to the tackles and guards, keeping their pad level low. Because a lot of times, those safeties and DBs, they might be playing man-to-man, but they're not keying through the linebacker. They're not keying through the quarterback. They're keying through the left tackle, the right tackle, the offensive guards. Are they pulling? Are their pad levels high or low? Are they pass setting? So that's what they're keying off of. The linebackers typically, they'll key off the guards, but they're also going to key off the quarterback a little bit. And That's what they need. They just need to show that ball, get that linebacker. They don't need them to step up 2, 3 steps. In the NFL, all you need to do is freeze them for 1 step, and then you got your guys open.
All right, so excited to be 6-2. You got a bye week. Hey, some guys get healthy. Zach the Polar Bear Frazier, hopefully he gets a little bit healthy. A couple guys get healthy. All right, we'll be right back to Let's Talk Steelers. Huddle up, Steelers Nation, it's Tank. I'm here at the Italian Village Trattoria, Route 28, Waterworks Mall, and Terra with Italian Village Trattoria has a game day special for you. All you got to do is call the Route 28 Italian Village Pizza Trattoria on a game day with your Pittsburgh Steelers. Mention Let's Talk Steelers TV show. And Tara, what's that special?
Buy one, get one, any size pizza, pickup or delivery.
Buy one, get one free, any size pizza, and all they gotta do is mention Let's Talk Steelers.
That's right.
All right, you know what to do, so go get it. Hello up, Steelers Nation. How would you like to win a trip to Canton, Ohio? That's right. All you gotta do is like Let's Talk Steelers on X, Facebook, and YouTube. You gotta do the trifecta. Let's Talk Steelers. You'll be entered to win a trip to Canton, Ohio. So I want you to like Let's Talk Steelers. You'll be entered to win a room night in Canton, Ohio, and a tour of the Hall of Fame. So let's talk Steelers.